We laid out 12 things that you need to check to see if you are going to become a multimillionaire or you're going to be that person that talked about coulda, shoulda, woulda, I was supposed to be, and it never happens for you.
You heard David said you got a problem, but what he didn't say is that we're offering the solution. We got the solution. Listen, these are not plays. These are not keys. These are solutions.
There's some things that you can control, and you need to at least control the things that you can't control before you start complaining about the things that you can. You need to find some things right now while you're listening to this that are in your control. There's some things in your power you need to execute.
I guarantee what I guarantee, and I said what I said. And if you are not willing to risk anything, then you cannot position yourself to gain anything at a high level. And that's just period, bottom line, point blank. If you don't risk something, then you're playing it safe. Multimillionaires don't play it safe.
If I went through this and I made it to a higher level, even though I feel like there's higher for me to go, if I made it, you can too. What is your higher? What is your higher in your life? What is the next step in love and finances and family and friendships and whatever? What is that for you? Whatever that is for you, reach for that. Pray for that, strive for that, fast for that, ask God for that. Don't stop pushing until you get to that. That's what I want people walking away with, that kind of encouragement.
Some of you have a unique it factor. You've got some discipline, you've got a good idea, you've got a strategy, but you don't have the guts. You ain't got the guts. You don't have that go for it. You don't have that beast inside of you. You ain't got that dog inside of you that's saying, I'm about to go for it. And I thought about it when I saw that somebody commented Deion Sanders' name. Deion Sanders is the epitome of go for it. I got the guts. It don't matter if I'm here or if I'm here. I'm a winning team. I'm a winner. Anything that I touch is a win.
What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion of me? Your opinion of me is not the opinion that I have of myself. You ain't make me, so you can't break me. You didn't build me, so you can't kill me. You know what? God established me, so you ain't nothing you can do to me. I've been dealing with this foolishness since Pee-wee football, man. I've been him.
If you want to hit that 7-figure status, if you want to be super successful in your business, you need these 12 steps. Welcome to another episode of the Social Proof Podcast. My name is Donni Wiggins, your very favorite business coach, and I am here with David Shands, the Shands, your very favorite podcast coach. And we are here to talk about some business.
Yes, business, entrepreneurs. We're the number one podcast for entrepreneurs. Why? Because we
said it.
Hold on, why are we?
Because we said it. And if we say it, it shall be.
That's a fact. That's what I be telling people.
Dave and I gave our team vacation this week. We were sending everyone to Mexico. My team didn't want to go. They decided to go to Auburn instead.
Who picks Auburn over Cancun?
Over Cancun, but
all expense paid.
Recent college graduates who want to go and see their friends.
Oh.
That's what that was. So they are in Auburn, and Dave's team is in Mexico. Everybody will be coming back today, but we have been a mess.
Oh, for sure. First off, we're going to talk about decision making. Okay, bringing Jada, Deja. This is you don't do that. Okay, Auburn. Your friends, and when you get back, your friends will be in Auburn.
Your friends will be. You can go to. It's an hour and a half drive.
Oh my gosh.
You can go to Auburn anytime.
It's around the
Auburn, Alabama. Yeah, they are college graduates from Auburn. I think there was like some big game. My hair is doing something interesting. There was like some really big game or something. They just wanted to go see their friends. Yeah. And saved me thousands of dollars.
My team was like, nope, give me that.
Let me get that. All inclusive.
I'm gonna get that trip up out of you. But it was really, really nice. They're actually still there. I came back a day early. They got a chance to, we were at breakfast, and Kay was like, we were kind of talking about all the stuff that you always wanted to do. And Kay said, well, I want to do parasailing. She said, I got parasailing on my bucket list. And she went parasailing.
By herself?
Yeah. Yep. Did
y'all watch her?
No, I didn't even know. So we went to breakfast, and we had kind of like a team meeting over being able to see this beautiful ocean. It's not the ocean, it's the Gulf. over this beautiful scene of the water, and we got a chance to eat, kind of chopped it up, talked about, what you want to be when you grow up, things of that nature. So that was a really, really good session. And she said she wanted to go parasailing. After that, we went to the beach and we rented jet skis. So the jet skis was like an hour before our turn was ready. So we just went out into the ocean and just kicked it and talked, and it was really, really dope. Kay was like, yo, man, really, really thank you, because this is her first time out of the country.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah. So she's had her passport, I think, for like 2 years, but it was her first time out of the country.
Yeah.
And we went on jet skis, and I went back to the room after that.
You didn't go on, okay. You went on the jet
Yeah,
ski,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
Okay.
And then I went to the room, and I guess she went after that. So again, they're still there, just, living it up.
You invested in a jet ski experience?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why wouldn't I?
Well, because during the planning of it, you said to make sure we get an all-inclusive resort, because everything you need is
100%.
on the resort.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I wasn't paying for breakfast, lunch, dinner, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to be like all expense paid, which means you got to like limit the expenses.
Right.
But them jet skis was $100 a pop, so...
I was doing the math. Like, I'm glad they wanted to go to Auburn, Alabama,
100%.
because
And got them Delta Comfort. We're not at first class just yet, but Delta Comfort.
Did you fly Delta Comfort?
I ordered a Delta Comfort seat.
But you were upgraded.
I said, book my joint separate. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, not diamond for nothing.
Not book my joint separate.
But yeah, no, that was cool. So the moral of the story is our team is out of town, and we didn't talk about business and, do this and do that the whole time, which I thought was really cool. So,
hey, are you going to re-earn your diamond status for next year?
I'm already diamond next year.
You are? Yo, I'm struggling to get my dang on platinum status.
Yeah, step your game up.
I need to step my game up. I gotta, but I have traveled more this year than I did last year.
I don't get my status from traveling.
You get it from
spending. I don't travel a lot, yeah. So do you have the Delta Amex?
Yeah, so I have both, and I'm really confused. I don't know what I should be swiping. So I swipe my business platinum for all of my business expenses because I like getting the rewards points and being able to utilize them. And I only really swipe flights and stuff on my Delta card.
Oh yeah, no, I use Delta for I use my. So
the Delta card gets you more.
Well, I think it helps more with the status of Delta. But either way, I spend a lot on both my cards.
I spend every dollar almost that I spend in a month on my business platinum card.
Yeah, and if you did that I have the Delta Reserve. If you did that on there, you probably get it.
I know you get the points much faster on the Reserve. I haven't applied for that, but maybe I should.
Yeah. I'll send you my link. I want my points. A little affiliate vibe. But I came in here, and maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had. I think everybody knows the story that when I started, I would set up all the cameras and the audio, and I just do it all myself, right? So I knew it. But now I come in here, and we've upgraded so much, I don't really know how everything connects in the systems and the equipment. I don't know it. And I felt vulnerable in that moment.
Exposed.
Well,
amateur.
Not exposed, just vulnerable. Meaning if Reese or Zell one day wakes up and says, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not coming. I'm vulnerable to, okay, what do I do? And it's no longer in my control.
Well, also exposed because it exposes how little you know about the operations of your business right now.
But don't tell me how I felt.
I
felt
telling
vulnerable.
You,
vulnerable is the perfect word.
I am telling you that there's another adjective. You're vulnerable and exposed.
I don't feel that way.
Well, but you are.
I might. Okay. I also feel anxious, and I feel all these other things, but I feel vulnerable.
The feeling that you wanted to communicate.
Oh, 100%. So I want to be able to, if everything goes, and this is maybe a fault of my own, I need to be able to bring that roadcaster and that switcher over here and do it myself, or just record on all those cameras. I'll take all these SD cards, and edit it myself just in case, which I would have figured it out because I know enough. But I was like, dang, the fact that I feel this way, is that a good or bad thing? Or am I just a control freak? I don't know.
I don't know that it's control freak. I think you have gotten comfortable with how business operates. I had a similar experience last night inside of my community. Everybody's off and I'm trying to go live inside. You're in the community, right? Were you a part of that fluster? So I can't get the call started, where I'm on the wrong link. It's just stuff going on. I'm trying to drop links in the group and let people in and all this stuff. And I'm like, y'all, I'm just sorry. Like, I'm doing this by myself today and I don't even know what to do. I didn't even know how to add the recording at the end. And I also felt vulnerable, but I said exposed because, I'm projecting on you. I felt exposed. I'm like, and exposed meaning there was no new discovery. It was exposing to me to see that I have gotten so accustomed to them doing the simple things. These are things that I knew how to do very well before they started doing it. And now I'm so far removed from doing it that I'm like, wait, which button do I press again? And what do I do? And let me not skip a step. I'm looking at their SOPs. Like, did I do this, that, and the other? And I had a split second when I felt like you, like, okay, I got to start doing this stuff again so I know how to run my business. But I don't know if the CEO of Chick-fil-A is going to come in and start dropping fries. You know what I mean? Yeah. More than they're just going to hire another fry cook.
Yeah, but we also don't run Chick-fil-A either.
No, we don't run Chick-fil-A. We run small businesses, and that's something to consider. But this is also why we have SOPs in place. So when I have SOPs in place, so I could have just gone back and referred to the SOPs. I didn't in real time because I was anxious, and I didn't even think about it until after the fact. Like, oh, there's an SOP for this. I could have just gone and looked at that.
SOP?
Standard operating procedure, a documented flow of how something works, right? And I could have looked at the SOP, but I was so flustered in that moment, just trying to get everybody squared away, that I didn't even think about it until after the fact. But it's also acknowledgement of why SOPs are so important. Like, this process needs to be standardized. Yeah. And we had a great job when Javon was here of SOPing up until that point, but we've upgraded even more since then. And all of that needs to be SOP. We need to go in like a Google Drive or a Trainual or a Trello or something and be able to say how to broadcast live into Mighty Network. And the steps are there. So we're not taking 30 minutes or an hour to figure those things out. This is why documentation is so important.
But I still think even if you have the instructions, it's still going to take a little longer than normal.
It'll take a little longer, but you're starting with reference.
Also with Ryan, so I think they read off from the SOPs exactly what to do, right? Was it? Yeah. So I didn't, so I wish you had a mic because then they could hear you. But yeah, so that was the thing I was proud of, because they pretty much told him exactly what to do, and it worked. Now there's still some, if the CEO of Chick-fil-A came into Chick-fil-A, he would be able to do everything because they've got the processes, right? But it's still, you can imagine him coming in reading the manual like, did you hold on? Okay, so you
like take putting together furniture from Wayfair.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're there, right? But I am super proud of the team for now. I know that we can just pass it along. It works. But for me, still going through, like I didn't need those SOPs. This stuff that's playing in my mind. I didn't need that stuff. I come in and I get busy and we work and we do it. Right? I have it set up in my office where I know that I can set this stuff up and go live on YouTube and run it. I like feeling in control in there. But I don't know, maybe it's good or bad. I don't know. But so the conversation today.
I have a really good idea for a future Social Proof episode.
What you got?
I think that we should do a recap of, maybe at the end of the year, I think we should do a recap of some favorite moments from all of our episodes. From guests, like we literally sit down and maybe you pick 20, I pick 20, and we go through, and in the edit, we add that clip, and talk about why we thought that was really a moment. I think that'll be a dope episode.
I like that. Let's do it.
Compilation
episode. I love it. All right. So
watch another podcast try to do it, but you know where you got it from.
Tell you this story. So you didn't see the intro for Michael McDonald's episode, did you?
No.
Fire.
No, I haven't seen
Fire. Ooh-wee, this week's episode, we got Michael McDonald. He is the silent partner of Earn Your Leisure, InvestFest, a whole EYL network. Everything that they do, there's a guy behind the scenes that is really pushing the buttons, and he doesn't get enough credit for it.
Do you think that Michael Jordan would be as successful without you? No.
Whoa.
They say like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But still better than a master of one, right? Yeah. That was me. I had to do lighting. I had to do sound. I had to do the cameras. I had to do the emails, the customer support. I was everything. I was doing every component of the business. What eventually happened was we started to delegate. And what I'm great at is building these things, like putting things in place. There's no way that we can get to the level we want to get to if we don't delegate. That's why we have 5, 8-figure businesses, right? Because we have a bunch of different people.
5, 8-figure businesses? Whoa.
You want first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else.
A lot of people remember my podcast was actually on the Earn Your Leisure network. And everybody kept asking me, why did you leave? Why did you leave? Why did you leave? It was because of Mike.
It should have just been me and you. 12 o'clock at night, I'm upset. He texts me, Rashad, and Troy. And that just pissed me off.
Mike invited me to fight him.
I felt like, are you trying to like get me in trouble or trying to like I was like subordinate or something, or I was like this is my network. I'm an owner, like, you know, I'm not like a little guy, you know what I'm saying?
And he was like, yo, what you gonna do about it? I'm looking at the phone like.
When I had my son, it changed everything for me. There were times where I had to sleep in my car, I had to take a shower in a gas station, things like that. I no longer can depend on someone else to supply money in my pocket.
The person coming from the background, coming to the forefront, could pose a problem. This is an episode where you're gonna wanna watch the whole thing, okay? Don't skip around, don't jump to the middle, don't jump to the end, don't leave early. You need this whole game. I really got the game from him. I learned so much in this episode, and so will you. So, but the thing was...
I'm going to copy it. I haven't seen it, but I'm going to copy it.
Bro, let me tell you the story.
Okay.
So, I was put together, this was the first, second, third podcast mastermind. And, you know, kind of just going through some game, and I was telling everybody, was you there when I was going over the intros and stuff? Mm-mm. I know you were recording, you came a little later, but, so I was showing them some different intros that like I'm seeing across the podcast space where the intro is literally like a movie trailer. You saw it? Mm-hmm. It's like a movie trailer. It's incredible. So I'm like, yo, this is the next step. Now, I didn't implement it yet, but I'm telling everybody this is the next step. I leave the event, Trap sent me a text like, yo, my team worked on one. That joint's fire so far.
He sent me the same text.
And I'm like, that's what's up. Congrats, Trap. So then Monray texts me and says, yo, we executed. Our team did the intro. And I was like, whoa, congrats, that's lit, I'm excited. I'm thinking, oh, some information that I gave, they actually, they executed. A day later, Ty and Ryan from Harley Initiated sent me their intro. They said, yo, we executed, we did it. This whole time, everyone executed.
Except you.
Except the person teaching what to do. And I said, oh no, this can't happen. So shouts out to Trap, Ryan, Tyshawn, and Monray. It really burned me up a little bit. I'm like,
that somebody beat you to it.
To the stuff, and you're telling people what you're gonna do, and you can't get mad when people execute on the thing that you told them to do.
So is it better practice to tell people what you've done instead of telling them what you're about to do?
I think the best practice is to tell people what you're about to do and actually do it, because now the clock starts.
The clock starts.
I like that pressure. Mm-hmm. I like it.
But you got to make sure that if that's how you're going to operate, you're prepared to do it.
Yeah.
In that case, when you're thinking about doing something that isn't being done, maybe you should do it first and then tell people this is what I did. Now y'all go do it.
Yeah, but the only challenge is I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable knowing something that can help people and me not telling them because I want to do it first.
Well, you also didn't feel comfortable because that they beat you to it.
I mean, that was good for me, but that was what prompted me. If I never told anybody, I'd never do it.
Okay, so if that's the motivation, I love it. Then keep telling people before you make your move. But
I don't want to make a practice of it.
I'm like, keep giving the information out before you make your move. I believe in sharing everything I know.
Yeah.
And I believe we've done a great job at sharing, probably too much, right? But there are some things that I would like to do first, and then I'll tell y'all.
For sure. Yeah, no, I think some things you shouldn't tell first, not because you're trying to withhold the information, but you don't know if it's right or not. You don't know
and sometimes you're just trying to withhold the information until you do it. I mean, and it's okay. Like, you can't be made to feel bad because you want to debut a new idea first.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and there's some things that I'm not saying right now.
Yeah.
But like, because as an entrepreneur and a creative, there's always so much going on in your brain.
You'll never execute on all of it.
You'll never execute on all of it.
I have this long rolling notes document in my phone of years of ideas. And every couple of months, I will go through and look at them and see what I can pull to the front line, meaning what are some things that I can do. And as I grow and evolve as a person and as an entrepreneur, some of those ideas, still great ideas, but I'll never touch them today, right? For many reasons. And then those are ideas that I'm like, yo, I got this great idea. Somebody should do it. It just won't be me. And I will share the heck out of that, right? Before I do it, because I'll never do it. Yeah. We've talked about before doing something with these ideas, and we should.
Yeah, for sure.
That's our New Year's project.
Yeah, look, I think this leads into the conversation for today. What are the qualities that an entrepreneur should possess?
Real quick, before we do that, at the 12-minute mark, go to that mark, and I think it would be a great idea to insert Michael McDonald's intro so people can see what we're talking about in real time. I looked at the clock, and it was around the 12-minute mark that we were talking about.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, say something else while I text that to the team. What's the topic of the day? We don't have the number yet, the qualities that every entrepreneur, if you are going to be successful, if you're going to build something big, if you're going to be a millionaire, what are the qualities that you need to possess now?
Sure. What are the qualities that every entrepreneur must possess in order to be a multimillionaire? The very first quality that I think you must possess is discipline. Discipline. It's super important. I have never heard a multimillionaire or billionaire speak about their journey to success, and it didn't include some type of discipline. Entrepreneurs at that level are operating at an extremely high level, and they literally have to purge out habits that are not becoming. And some of your habits are habits that are great enough to make you a 7-figure earner. Some of your habits are good enough to make you a multiple 6-figure earner, a single 6-figure earner. But many of the habits that we have that it takes to get to 6 figures and just hitting 7 figures will never get us to multiple 7 figures, billions of dollars. And what I have learned in my journey of entrepreneurship is that you can really become a 7-figure earner as I did without having the best discipline practices and process. Yeah. But in order to retain it and in order to multiply it, I had to kick in a whole different level of discipline. Yeah. And that was evidence to me when I think it was this year, at the top of this year, we both said, I got to jump back into my business. Yeah. Like, I let go of things too soon. I delegated some things that I could have held on to a little longer. I got comfortable with the team and everybody else doing. And I had my time. We're at lunch. We're shopping. Yeah. We're leaving the podcast going shopping. We're leaving the podcast having meetings that never turned out to be meetings, but delicious lunches. And we had to discipline ourselves to say, no, we can't do that anymore. Number one, it's just a terrible financial practice. Yeah. And number two, we are getting nowhere with these ideas if we keep meeting this way. And we had to exercise a level of discipline. We haven't gone to lunch in months.
It's been a minute.
It's been we're due.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time since we've gone to lunch. I don't know if that's made you more or less productive, but I'm spending my time, instead of going to lunch, what I usually do is go and meet with the team. So there is definitely some additional productivity that's happening, and we're able to not only maintain but grow the business. Yeah. Discipline is a huge component that every entrepreneur must possess.
100%. And I think going into discipline, we think of discipline like we've got to wake up the same time every morning, things of that nature. But discipline, when I hear it, is decision making. I just remember as an entrepreneur where I plan on doing something tonight. Like after I get off work, I got to knock this out. Mm-hmm. I get home, I start working, and my phone rings, and there's something that somebody needs, or there's something that someone's inviting me to, or there's some fun, or my friend wants to come over, or everything besides what I'm supposed to be doing. Discipline says no. Discipline says I'm focused on what I'm focused on, nothing else, and nothing can take me off of that path. But I think we're looking at discipline as some sweat equity type focus, blood, sweat, and tears, when it's really just these small decisions. Discipline is I'm going to cook tonight instead of going out and spending extra money. I'm really going to lock in.
I'm going to read.
I'm going to sit there and read. I'm going to learn. There's a lot of people that have a really hard time sitting down and learning something, and I am one of them.
Yeah, because you have so many ideas bouncing around in your head. And I know that one thing that you and I have in common is I've seen us at events, conferences, masterminds. Once we get that one piece of information that we need, it's like nothing else matters. We start texting, we're planning, just like you did when I said, let's insert the Michael McDonald clip into the episode. Right away, you're distracted. You got to text the team right now. You're an action taker. And so when we're reading these things that are applicable to what we have going on, it's like, okay, learning time is over. Now it's time to execute.
100%.
And we're distracted. So discipline. And when I say read, I mean, if you look at your average multimillionaire, actually because not really multimillionaires, not all of them, but when you look at your billionaires, you will see that most of them say they read at least 30 pages a day, or they read at least 30 books a year, or one book a month. But reading is a discipline that I have heard every billionaire that has become a billionaire through work say, not a billionaire through inheritance or familial connection like the Hiltons, but the people who acquired it through work and having the idea, they all have read a book.
100%. And it just takes extreme discipline to sit there and read it.
Yep. So
especially
number one,
with all the stuff going on, I think it's harder to read now than it was back in the day, because we didn't have not only media. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you're bouncing between the apps. We didn't have all that.
Yeah, now you have the book available to you on Audible, and it seems so convenient to say, oh, I'll just listen to the book on my phone, but then you get a text message notification and you're scrolling and you're moving around, and are you really focused and retaining the information? Yeah. I think also when it comes to, so this will bring us into the second point, which I think every entrepreneur needs to have to reach that 7-figure plus status, is the ability to learn new information.
Okay, I had another 2, but it's cool.
Okay, we'll get to yours on 3. The ability to learn new information, right? And I think that is hugely important, because you have to remain a student of your industry. You have to remain a student of what it is that you do. You have to be on top of industry trends and things as they change and move, around. You just have to be on top of these things. And if you are unwilling to learn, you will not hit the successful 7-figure plus status that you want to learn. Brings me to knowing how to learn new information, right? When you are reading a book, it's probably really important that you're highlighting in that book, or you're taking notes in that book. You're documenting something along the way, not just reading pages to get through the pages. Because I'm learning now as I'm reading, often and reading with other people, that some people are literally just reading to get through the pages. Knowing how to learn, being willing to, and knowing how to learn new information.
I think the way you obtain that quality is learning how you like to learn.
Your learning style.
100%. So I don't learn through sitting there and watching a video or watching a course. It's just I don't learn that way. I have to learn by taking a piece of the thing that I want to learn and doing it. So if there's 20 modules or something like that I gotta go through, I have to learn a part of it. I gotta take one and go out and execute that part. I just have to be in it with my hands, or I'm gonna sit there and be watching it and my mind starts to wander. For instance, reading a book, I can't read a book without a highlighter, because if I read a book without a highlighter, then there's nothing that I'm pulling out. I'm just reading it. But if I have a highlighter in my hand, I'm looking for something to pull out. And then I highlight it and I'm like, oh, I got that. So that's how I learned how to learn.
And alternatively, I mentioned highlighting because I know that that's your style. I see Milan highlighting in her books, but me, I cannot write in my books. I cannot highlight. I cannot underline. When I go in to reread that information, I am distracted by markings in my book. If I can see it through the other side of the paper, now I'm confused. What part of the information was I supposed to be focused on? And that, because I'm such an in-order person, that causes chaos in my mind. So I have to take notes. The notes in my phone are temporary. I have to write it out on paper. If you see me take notes on phone, I'm going to go home and write those notes down in a main journal because that's how I retain information, through writing down what I've received in another format.
You got to learn how you learn. Number 3, it was number 2, but you just kind of inserted your own little number 2 in
Number
there.
3.
I got one. And it's important.
Okay.
Emotional control. This is a quality that all you entrepreneurs are going to have to possess if you are going to become successful. Because the big idea that you have and the excitement that you got, I'm about to go out there and kill it. As soon as the world sees my offer or my product, they're going to buy. And they're not. They're just not. I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm just saying, for the most part, they are not. And you have to be able to emotionally deal with that. And not get upset, not get depressed, not say, forget this, I got to do something else. You need some emotional control, enough to say, okay, this happened to me. What do I need to learn from this? So for me, that's been a major blessing, is being able to control my emotions as I build my business.
I think it's also relevant and shows up in situations where somebody beats you to your idea. Little things like if someone processes a chargeback, right? Not being ready to blast them all over social media, not acting in a way that will cause more distance between you and your ideal client or customer. But literally being able to process not only your emotions as it relates to business, but also being under control and highly intelligent about your emotions as it relates to your personal life. Because if your emotions are out of balance in your personal life, then it translates into your business. So being able to have those filters in place and knowing when it's time for you to maybe step away, when it's time for you to get people around you, when it's time for you to talk to a therapist, when it's time for you to get an accountability partner. Those things are all emotional intelligence. And being aware of what your triggers are, I think, are really, really important to having some emotional control. When you are unaware of what even triggers you or why it triggers you, then it's going to be really difficult to have control over your emotions. You don't know what component you're controlling.
Do you remember a moment where you lost control and you made a bad business decision based off emotion?
I haven't made a bad business decision made off of emotion.
No.
I've made some bad personal choices for sure based off of emotion. But I don't believe that I have made, like, I've never gone off on a team member. I've never cursed the client out. I've never overreacted, but also at the same time, my business flows pretty well.
Yeah.
And so, no, I've never showed my butt
Yeah.
business wise.
Yeah.
I may have vented to you about something. I can only think of the one thing that comes to mind is the guy who joined my 6-figure accelerator program. He paid like almost $2,000 for the program, went through the program, actually built a 6-figure business, and spent months giving me testimonials. Donni is the best coach ever. I did this, that, and the other. My business is here because of Donni, like literally highlighting me all over social media, commenting on every post about how amazing my program is. And about 6 months later, he made payments on the program. And about 6 months later, he charged back every single payment. There were 3 payments. He charged back every single payment up to about $2,000. And that person was also a very loud member of Morning Meetup. So I called you and was like, yo, what's up with this guy? Get him out of there ASAP because he did this. And I couldn't believe, but I vented to you about that. And I explained what happened, I think, as a means of putting protection parameters in your business. But when it came to him, I sent him a message and I literally just said, hey, just making sure everything is okay. Maybe you didn't recognize the name of the company, but these charges were for this and blah, blah, blah. And when he read my message and basically didn't respond, I just blocked him. I don't think that was emotionally out of control. I wasn't going to even give him that energy. I just blocked him from all of my social media. I blocked him from being able to check out with any of my merchants using his keywords. Using keywords like his address, his name, his email. You can't check out, baby, in my system. But that was like probably I acted out to you. Yeah,
for sure. I can remember almost every business that I started and never quit. I quit off of emotion. It just, I don't feel like doing it anymore, or I feel like it's not working, or I'm over this. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you get really excited about something and in the beginning, you got all this energy and it's your purpose and it's your passion, things of that nature. But when things slow down, my tune changes to all the reasons why I shouldn't be doing this, and I quit. So every time I've quit, I cannot think of a good reason that I've ever quit any business that I got involved in. I can't think of a good reason outside of just me emotionally being drained. I don't want to do this anymore. But any of those things that I quit could have made me a millionaire.
Yeah. The businesses that I've quit, I can think of reasons that are justified for every single business that I quit, because I naturally am a person who has had to endure hard things and doing things that I just don't feel like doing. And so it's really easy for me to do things that I just don't feel like doing. So I won't even say that. And I've always been really driven by analytics and details. Like any business that I've quit, it was time. Either I outgrew it, or it stopped working, or I just wanted to do something else. And I don't think that was emotional. It was just growth.
Yeah, which is why you're the success you are today.
Yeah.
Because but a lot of people, they can't decipher the two.
Yeah.
Whether there's a valid reason, or I just don't feel like I shouldn't have quit real estate. You know what I mean?
You did real estate?
Yeah, I did real estate.
You were a real estate agent?
Yep.
I was too.
Sold some properties and everything.
I can see you touring property.
Yeah, but you get to this point where you have someone where you're driving them around and they want to go back to see the first house after the 50th. And you're like, I don't want to do
Looking
this.
at your gas needle.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to be out there. It's hot. And I talk myself out of it. So anyway.
That was definitely emotional.
For sure.
Because those commission checks used to commission. You hear me? What number are we on, Naya?
We are on number 4.
This is number 4 about to be?
Number 4,
is it my turn?
Yes.
All right. So I believe the next component every entrepreneur must possess is supernatural belief.
Supernatural belief.
Supernatural belief. That means having the ability to believe beyond your reality. Mm-hmm. So that means that you might live in less than desirable conditions and circumstances, but you can see yourself in the abundance that you desire. That means that you may know nothing about starting business, but you can see yourself as the CEO that you desire to be. That means that outside of the things that people are saying to you, about your inability to accomplish a thing, about how unbelievable your idea is, about how you're imagining something that can never happen, you have to be able to see beyond all of those things and stand on what your vision is in order to achieve it. And belief is the number one the lack of belief is the number one reason that people don't do a thing to completion, because they don't believe they're qualified. They don't believe they have the time. They don't believe they have the money. They don't believe people will buy from them. They don't believe their idea is good. They don't believe that this is realistic. And here's the thing. It's not supposed to be realistic. Mm-hmm. It's because it's not something that you've ever realistically experienced. The only thing that's realistic to you are things that have actually happened to you. Yeah. Anything else is a desire, which is an unrealistic thing, meaning it's not real yet. Yeah. And you have to be able to apply a supernatural belief saying, it hasn't ever been real for me before. Mm-hmm. It's not real for me yet, but I understand that it is about to be real for me soon.
Yeah. So how do we increase that belief? Mm-hmm. So not just the want, oh, this is what I want, or I'm excited, this is what I'm going to do, but the belief that this is going to change my life. Mm-hmm. How do we increase that?
Yeah. So there are several ways. I believe that, and this is a whole different one all in itself, but mentorship and coaching, having someone who has acquired the result that you desire to have, guiding you along the way. And not just that, going out and experiencing the things that seem so unrealistic. Yeah. Like right now, you might be driving a 1985 Toyota Corolla. And so owning a Bentley, that's what you drive? No. Oh. That's what you're driving? Oh, okay. Because they over there like, yep. You might be driving a 1985 Toyota Corolla. Shout out to everybody who drives it. And it may be unrealistic for you to think that you'll own the 2025 Bentley Coupe. Right? Well, if you go and sit in the Bentley Coupe and wrap your fingers around that steering wheel and rub your hands down that leather and smell what it feels like and ask for a test drive, that experience just became real to you. Yeah. Now you can see yourself in it because you placed yourself in it, right? You have to see it before you become it. If you believe that you'll never get the multi-million-dollar mansion because you live in the $1,000 apartment right now, the $1,000 4-bedroom apartment right now. Mm-hmm. That might for you be like, because I remember what that was like when I was living in my mom's house, sharing a bed and a bedroom with my daughter, thinking one day me and my daughter are going to live in this apartment in the sky in a high-rise building. My circumstances said, but my dream said, wow, right? And it wasn't until I actually started working for the first high-rise community I ever lived in. Like I literally started working there initially as an assistant manager, as a temp actually first. I got assigned there as a temp, and then I came on team as an assistant manager and then grew from there. But it was me being in that. I had been used to, in my career up until that point, I had been used to managing Section 8 properties, C properties. There's a class of property called A, B, C, D property, and then just F. And I had been familiar with leasing C properties. And then once I got to that luxury status, Naya, that A+ property, now I am actually working in the property that I told my daughter a year before that one day we would live in. Now I'm touring this property every day. Now I'm explaining to people how you can put your sofa over here, your bed on this window, and what you can do here. And now I'm starting to see it for myself. Like, man, if I lived there, I remember after work when I would go turn the lights out, David, in the apartments, I would just sit in there on the floor sometimes and just like look at the view from in there, imagining this being my place. I had to experience it in order to see myself in it. And once I saw myself in it, it was a wrap. Months later, not even a year later, it became mine.
Man. And I think a part of belief too is you gotta kind of like what you said, there's gotta be like some sort of evidence. And like you said, being able to see it and experience it, that gives you some evidence. But what's helped me increase my belief over the years is I got this big vision and I believe I'm going to be a multimillionaire. But I have to take the belief and break it down into something that I can accomplish today. Like, yo, I can get 2 customers. And when I go get those 2 customers, it somehow impacts my belief to say, if I can get 2, I can get 4. If I can go get 2 customers today, that means tomorrow I can go get 2 more. There's somebody in this world that will buy this thing for me. And once I experienced that, I said, oh, I believe it now. Yeah. And then we go get some more. Then we go get some more. Then go get, and years later, eventually it worked out to where, it worked out. But you got to go get just the slightest bit of evidence. Go get that one customer, that first person to buy, and go celebrate. Because if one will buy, 100 will buy.
For sure. You and I do things that we've never done ever before. And when we talk about launching a new thing, we have no experience doing it. We just believe that we can figure it out. Sure. Yep. And we have literally done things successfully and made tons of money doing things that I don't know how we're going to do it. We just gonna figure it out. Absolutely. Just like our upcoming weekend.
Absolutely. Number 5, I think, is really, really important. And people skip this one. This is a sleeper. But soft skills, which I'll couple with like your appearance and like, let me just explain it, okay? Your soft skills. The way you shake someone's hand matters. The way you carry yourself matters. The way you look someone in the eye when they're talking matters. The way where you're having a conversation, you don't have your phone in your hand and you're texting, and that's all these things matter. And if you could become a person that people want to be around, it makes it a lot easier to build a network. And if you have a network, it makes it a lot easier to become successful. Soft skills.
I love that.
Are incredible. Also appearance too. I've learned some things from my dad about appearance. When you ever go to an event where you got to dress up and you can tell that some of these people, they don't dress up often. You dress up, you got the khakis and the shirt, but the shirt is out the khakis a little bit. It's a little bit baggy. A lot of bit baggy. And no one taught you, okay, you put your t-shirt in your underwear, and then you put your shirt in your pants, and your belt has to be tight enough, because if it's loose, your shirt's gonna keep hanging out. You don't look like somebody that belongs here. You don't look like, there are certain clubs that you're a part of, and I'm not saying your appearance matters to your success. Why I'm saying it a little bit, but not in all cases. But it's been a leg up when you look like you're supposed to be there. When you look like you're supposed to. Jim Rohn said something one time. He said, if you smoke cigarettes, but you look around and there's no ashtrays, that says we don't smoke here.
Yeah.
But there are people that will spark up a cigarette or whatever in an environment, and they're like, yo, who invited this person? Because you couldn't read what's happening here.
Didn't read the room.
You didn't read the room. Soft skills / appearance. Man, listen, I love y'all ladies. I love y'all. Never mind.
No, it's important because I know what you're about to get at.
Like,
we are in the season of like, when I started going to conferences, you got dressed in your Sunday's best to attend these conferences. And I literally see women and men at conferences with their butts out. Like men's pants sagging and you see their whole underwear. Like, I never want to see your underwear under the cuff of your behind. You know the cuff. We know the cuff. And I have seen men in professional conferences with their cuff exposed. But at the same time, I've seen young women or women, period, at these same conferences with their cuffs exposed. And that's just not a soft skill that you want to acquire as a CEO in a professional network environment. And we live in a society right now where anything goes. It's just anything goes. And I can't wait to bring back like, no, anything doesn't go here.
Close talking. Just back up off me.
Just give me 3 feet.
Give me still a little bit of space.
Give me 3 feet.
Yeah, you know what? There's some people they don't even realize too. You ever be in an environment and someone's talking and what they're talking about is either inappropriate or just corny, and everyone here is looking like, what is this person talking about? I don't get it.
Yo, whose man's is this?
Yeah, they're making you uncomfortable, even though you're not the one that is making the offenses, but they don't even realize that, like they can't see that nobody's laughing with you. We're all laughing at you. Anyway, I think that's important to the development of an entrepreneur. Just being aware.
Yeah.
Just being aware. Learn your soft skills, your presentation, your appearance. Your tie shouldn't be too short or too long.
Or too
just
tight.
Touch your belt. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of things.
I love that.
All right, we are at
7?
number
6.
6.
Number 6, the sixth component every entrepreneur should have is the ability to take risks. You have to have
Gotta be risk
some
averse?
degree.
Is that it? Risk averse?
You have to be a risk taker.
Let me see.
Okay. And let me explain. Are we good here? Let me explain. You have to be a risk taker. Now, your level of comfort in taking risk is relative. It is risk averse.
Risk averse means
Disciplined or reluctant to take risk.
Yeah. Okay. So is it risk converse?
Risk tolerant.
Risk tolerance.
You
have to have risk tolerance. That's what number 6 is, Naya. You must possess risk tolerance. Okay.
A high risk tolerance.
A high risk tolerance. What is high risk tolerance? Your capacity to take risks. You have to be willing to position yourself to take risks, whether you lose or win in said risk. You have to understand that not every decision for you is going to yield a positive result.
Right.
Some of these decisions you will absolutely take a financial loss. You'll hear a lot people say, "Oh, I don't take losses. I get lessons." You're gonna take a loss.
You're gonna lose some.
you're gonna take a loss. Sure, the lesson shall come, but in that moment, you lost. You lost some. All right. You might win some, but you just lost one. All right. So you have to be willing to take losses, to take risks and take losses. Yeah. And that's so important. If you are not willing to risk anything, then you cannot position yourself to gain anything at a high level. And that's just period, bottom line, point blank. If you don't risk something, then you're playing it safe. Multimillionaires don't play it safe.
For sure.
At all. Sure. We are risking every single time we spend money or invest money in a marketing campaign. We are taking risks every single time we order inventory that hasn't been sold yet. We are taking risks every single time we invest in coaching and strategic development. We are taking risk every single time we hire new team members. We're taking a risk.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, number 7, you have to be able to execute. You got to switch it, right? You got to stay focused. There we go. You're doing good. You're doing great, by the way.
He caught me out rubbing my nose. I'm all thinking it's on you.
Execution.
Execution.
The whole.
That's it right there. Episode over.
That's it. Let me tell you how you become successful. You set a goal and you accomplish it. Period. You set a goal and you accomplish it. You are going to have to start setting goals and accomplishing it, and you have to execute. It can start right now. If you say, I'm going to make a sale today, go make the sale today. Give it everything you got to go make the sale today. Now, if you don't make the sale, at least don't let anyone say you didn't try. You didn't attempt. You didn't go at it. Now you got to go home with your sale-less self and say, okay, what did I do wrong? And you analyze it. And you say, tomorrow I am going to execute no matter what. If you can develop the ability to execute, and outside of that, the execution of doing what you say you're going to do. Just if you say you're going to do it, do it. You need to find some things right now while you're listening to this that are in your control, things you can absolutely do. You can't control someone taking money out of their pocket and buying from you. But what you can do is say, I will have my beard oil ready by Friday to sell, and I'm going to execute. There will be no excuses. You can control that. There's some things that you can control, and you need to at least control the things that you can't control before you start complaining about the things that you can. There are some things in your power you need to execute. Execution. If you don't have that as an entrepreneur, you're lost.
Yeah, for sure. Well, number 8.
Yep.
Number 8, you have to have vision.
Gotta have vision.
You have to have vision. Nothing happens without vision. And we get so stuck on this, like we don't understand the vision for XYZ, right? Vision, if you understand this, it will save you. Vision is ever evolving. That means that as you grow, as you develop, as you change, as you make shifts throughout your journey, your vision will remain similar, but it will evolve over time, right? The way you do something may evolve. The reason that you're doing something usually stays pretty consistent, but the way that you're going about executing a thing will stay involved, may change a little bit. Now, here's the thing about vision. Once you establish what your vision is, then you must use that vision to make every single business decision that you are making. And not just business decision, but also personal life decision. When you understand what your vision is, you will make great choices about hiring this person. Should I hire this team member? Well, are they in alignment with the vision? Should I accept this speaking opportunity? Well, is it in alignment with the vision? Because we'll waste a lot of time doing busy work,
100%.
taking on opportunities that's not in alignment with our vision, but because it yields some kind of result or it's the cool room to be in, you are lacking discipline and not doing what you should be doing. Your vision will say, well, your vision will help you to make decisions. Can I spend this money? Well, is it in alignment with my vision right now? Your vision is going to be the operating system for which you make all of your decisions and operate your business as well as your personal life.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Can you see
You
it?
all, can you see it? Can you see it? And I guess it's going to go back to Donnie's number 4, which is supernatural belief. So it's one thing to have the vision, but if you don't believe in that vision, it doesn't matter. Or if you just have belief that you will become successful, but you can't see it, that's not going to work either.
Yeah.
So you really have to be able to see this thing.
Yeah.
Man, me and Donnie been going back and forth for months on this studio, but we see it. Yeah. Like, I mean, when we start talking about the way it's laid out, the operations, what's going to happen, we see it, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. That shows we believe it. No doubt this thing is going to become successful. Yeah. So yes,
when the building was completely destroyed, I could see our concept, and I could see the people, the creators walking around. I could see the creators' guests waiting in the lobby. I could see a wedding or a conference happening in the event space. I can see kind of generally what our hallways are looking like, right? I saw these things when I looked at the artwork that currently is there by the lovely gang members in the community. When I see that artwork, I see visionary artwork. I see the mural that's going to mean something. I see the Instagrammable moments. I've been saying that since the first day that I saw it. Like, I didn't have to be delivered a finished product. The vision that I have, the vision that David has, we've been able to see, and it's so eerie that our visions are very similar for this same product. Like, we know it's so easy. David called me, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, and said, hey, I want to run some design ideas by you. And he goes through these ideas and I'm like, yep, I love it. And he's like, okay, well, guess that was the call, I want to do blah, 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 blah. I want, da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, well, where does my input come in at? Because I'm with whatever you're with. Vision. And that's going to affect even your partnerships. Should I say yes to this partner? Jada said she was going to be here today to present us with some manufacturing information.
I saw a text. Let's see what it's about, and maybe we can read it aloud. Hey, guys, this came in. Hey, guys, here's the update. I am unable to make it to the podcast recording because I have to take care of something for a client. Wow, I wonder if the client gave her
an investment seed.
An investment.
When did that update come in?
20 minutes ago, after an hour after she's supposed to be here. Jada. Oh, this is not a good sign.
This is feeling very deja vu-ish.
This is not a good sign.
Feeling very, this has happened before-ish with another young lady who used to sit on that couch. Anyway, so, and that young lady missed out. So,
for sure.
Jada, better get it together. No, seriously, vision is just really important. Do you have it? And if you don't have it, it's very important that you sit down and just based on who you are right now, based on the experiences that you've had, the knowledge that you possess right now, what do you see for yourself in the next 12 months? Let's just start there. What do the next 12 months look like? What do the next 3 months look like? It may be a struggle for you to assign a vision to what you're thinking in your head, but let's just start with what we want in 30 days, then what we want in 90 days. And as that gets clearer and clearer, then build that out for the next 12 months. I didn't get a 20-year vision until maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what my life was going to look like until about a year ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't let that stop me from taking action on what I'm doing today, right? And the other thing that I want to say about vision is once you've established what that vision is, if you have people who work with you, customers who are doing business with you, it's very important that every customer knows what your vision is and every team member knows and is on board with your vision. As an entrepreneur, we do not have the luxury of having people who are just working for a check on our teams right now. Yeah. Because there's a lot of, when we're starting up, this is like ground level. This is the Facebook in the garage. This is the Amazon in the garage. This is the Microsoft and the Google in somebody's basement apartment, right? At that level, everybody got to be all in.
Yeah.
Look at how many people who missed out on the Facebooks, who missed out on the Microsofts because they weren't sold out for the vision. Yeah. Those creators, those founders, the people who are still here today on the Apples who had the vision are the people and who were committed to the vision are the people who are benefiting today. And you hear from their previous business partners, people who previously were a part of the team saying, man, if only I had seen the vision, my stocks, my shares would have been worth X, Y, and Z by now. You got to be committed. And you can't afford to have a team that's working for a check. You don't make that kind of money yet.
Yeah.
To have team that's working, because there's going to be a lot of extra hours, a lot of time spent, a lot of input that's given, a lot of things that's not my job that you just are going to have to do right now.
100%, for sure. Okay, we're getting down to the wire. Number 9, and maybe we saved it for later in the list, and maybe people think it's a given, but work ethic.
That's good.
You have to put in the work ethic. I don't even know if we need to expand on it that much, but you have to put in the work ethic. But I think what affects that work ethic is something that we talked about earlier is emotional control. because sometimes it's our emotions that cause us not to work. If we don't feel like it, we don't feel like getting it done, we have to do the work, right? We need to get addicted to this work, and not just work for work's sake, but tying all the stuff that we talked about into today, work ethic with the anticipation of execution, work ethic with the belief, work ethic with the vision. But you like, I don't know how you can get around the work. The work has to be done. This is the main reason why we need team. Yeah. Because the objective, so people are like, yo, we got to get a team so we can scale. Well, the reason you really need a team is so more work can get done in the same time. So if I'm working on all of this stuff together, I can only do so much. But if I'm doing something, and Reese is doing something, and Zell is doing something, and Kay is doing something, and Kashif is doing something, and the whole team is doing some work at the time, this is the amount of work that we're putting out. I'm paying to get more done in the same time because I can't do all the work myself. However, I did not hire a team so that I don't have to do work. I don't care. Listen, we can get everybody that works for me in a room and they will confer what I'm saying. Nobody works harder. I didn't hire people so I don't have to do the work. I hire people so that I can do more work. And there's nobody on this team that's going to outwork me, period. 100%.
I love it. All right, are we at number 10?
We are on number 10.
This is our last one? Maybe.
Let me finish it.
I want to do,
You
give the bonus.
First off, you started with 2.
You give the bonus.
You started the first 2.
I have an important one, though.
Well, make
and
it
then
this
you
one.
give, and yeah, that's this one.
Okay, I got another one.
Okay, what number is this?
10.
10. That's what I've been
11.
saying the whole time. I said make an 11 or a bonus.
Okay, I'll make 11.
Okay.
You do 10.
Number 10.
She's not gonna let it fly though. I know. After 11, oh, I got another one, but this one's important.
No, this is it.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do it.
Number 11. This is really
You're
different.
number 10.
This is number 10. This is really hard for me, by the way.
Let's do it.
Because no. I don't have my phone right now. We're on live on my phone, and I'm a note taker.
Oh,
and so
it's
me
on you, not in you.
It's in me.
Is that what you said?
However, I have a very short-term memory, like in real time, because I'm thinking about stuff and listening to you. So I'm sitting here and I'm forgetting some stuff that I want to say. This is really, really challenging for me. So your girl is digging deep. But the one that I want to leave you with, number 10, is you must possess a unique proposition factor. Unique proposition factor. What is unique about you? What is your it factor? Okay. And you have to identify, when we think about billionaires, when we think about the Beyonce and Jay-Z's, when we think about Rihanna, when we think about Oprah Winfrey, when we think about Steve Jobs, when we think about these individuals who have reached billion-dollar status, what was the it factor? Beyonce has the ability, both and Rihanna have the ability to captivate a community globally. Beyonce specifically has an unmatched work ethic. She has the ability that whatever she does, it's going to draw, it's going to touch, because part of Beyonce's it factor is giving you only what she wants you to see. She has this mysteriousness about her.
Definitely got a mystique.
It's a mystique. Good choice. Yeah. It's a mystique about her that makes you crave to be in her presence whenever she makes her presence available to you, right? Rihanna, on the other hand, has a very much in your face, I don't care, it is what it is, I said what I said, I wear what I wear, I date who I date, I go where I want. There's pictures all over her, all over the internet.
Classy way.
In a very classy way. In a very edgy.
Raunchy classic.
It's very edgy, very raunchy classy for sure. Great turn. Look at you today, right? She has this it factor. Like Beyonce has a very classy, timeless kind of thing about her, but Rihanna gives a very different approach that's also classy but edgy, could be raunchy but timeless.
What's the Donni it factor?
My transparency, my relatability. Like literally in this space, I was one of the first, at least female, and could be very well one of the first in our community, business coaches that told her complete story and led with loss. led with loss, led with the reality of the ugly picture. I don't know many people, especially women in this space, who before me were sharing their story in a way that just put the gut-wrenching heartache on the table and then leverage that, because most people lead with the glitz and the glamour of it all. Most people lead with the thing that they want you to see. And I came out of the gate, like literally in all of the businesses that I've ever started, you've seen the blood equity, the sweat equity, the tears equity in my business. Like I've cried like I was doing this in 2008 on Facebook.
You cried on the internet before Tyrese.
For sure. I for sure cried on the internet
First to do
before
it.
Tyrese. And I think that for me, because of that, I've had an army of people cheering me on and just wanting to see me win. And I have always acknowledged that, right? My ability to also build community. But Oprah Winfrey, you know, what's her it factor? She captivated the television space, the daytime talk show space, and then went into network space. Yeah. Tyler Perry, they all have these unique it factors. For some people, it's personality. For some people, it's the team around them. For some people, it's the product, right? For Steve Jobs, it's the product.
You gotta have something special.
For Bill Gates, it's the product. For Oprah Winfrey, it was a team around her. And the personality.
And at the time, Oprah wasn't aesthetically the person that you're putting on TV.
Which is why it was the team. They knew that her it factor was her personality, and Oprah had a belief. I remember she was sitting down with who was it? It was, what's the other guy? Oh, right there. What's his name?
Jerry Springer?
No, next to him.
Larry King?
Larry King. She's sitting down with Larry King in an interview, and he's like, well, what if it doesn't work? You're about to release this new talk show. What if it doesn't work? And she says, oh, it'll work. I'm not worried about it if it'll work. It's how much it will work, how big it will work. Why wouldn't it work?
Yeah.
Right?
She had that belief.
She had this belief in the 80s when, at that time, Oprah was overweight, and it was very, very difficult to be a black woman on TV in a leading role, one. And two, it was very, very difficult to be a black overweight woman on TV that hit ultimate stardom. It's just not something that you saw. And at that time, she was fully aware of who she was, and she believed on a supernatural level. She had a vision for herself, and she said exactly what it was going to be. And now Oprah Winfrey, it doesn't matter what she does. It's going to make multi-millions and billions of dollars. It doesn't matter what Tyler Perry does. Everything he does is a hit, even when it's not. Even when the little microphone is protruding from the wig up here, it's a hit. Every single thing they do. Why? Vision, supernatural belief, it factor, dedication, determination, work ethic, all these things that we have said, they possess every single last. Beyonce did a documentary years ago, and she's releasing another one simply about her work ethic.
Yeah.
The whole documentary is only about her work ethic. The average mindset sees entertainment. People like me and you who want to be multimillionaires, we see the work ethic.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. And I thought she was so unique too. Like, she got this mic and she's running back and forth through the crowd. Like, it was just her whole transparent, like you said. She is who she is, and she was unapologetic, man. So that was lit.
Are we talking about Oprah?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember when Oprah would run through the crowd with her mic going so fast at one point, and she would literally stop and grab somebody's shoulder and be like, whew.
All right, bro.
Out of breath, a little out of breath. Oprah was who she was without apology. That's her it factor. So what is your unique proposition factor? Meaning, what is your proposition to the world? What is your it factor that you possess, and you do it in a way that's different from what anybody else is doing? It's your way to connect with the world.
For sure. I got one more because I got a meeting. But it is strategic thinking. You got to sit there and think. And this is what I know a lot of entrepreneurs never get a chance to do, at least for not a long period of time. You want to work, and never think. Now, you can't be the person that's think, and never act. But It's important to sit down and strategize. How am I going to get this done? And as soon as we start to sit down and figure it out, our phone rings, we're distracted. Or we can't figure it out after 3. You ever Google something and you're looking for something, and if it's not on the first page or the first 3 or 4 articles answers your question, you go to YouTube, or you stop looking altogether, or you just call somebody. Meaning I can't sit there for a long period of time and figure it out. Go page after page after page. The answer is on page 6. But who goes to the 6th page of Google? Who strategizes, okay, how am I going to get this money? How many people am I going to talk to? Who maps out all of the barbershops that they're going to go to with their beard oil and say, strategically, I'm going to north side, then I'm going south side, then I'm going east side, and then I'm going to double back, and then I'm going to hit the salons, taking all the testimonials from the barber. Who thinks that far and that deep and puts a plan together? Very few people, only millionaires. But there has to be some sort of level of strategic thinking. And you should walk away from that plan saying, oh, this is it. This is foolproof. This is a strategy. This will work. But most of us, we can't sit there long enough and think.
Yeah.
So
I want so badly to offer a bonus. However, I'm committed to what I said, and this is it. This is it. These are the 11 components that you need
just
to
give
be.
it, bro. Just go with the 12.
No.
Just do it.
Are you asking me to do it?
I'm begging you.
You begging me. Simple. This one's simple. You just got to have guts. You just have to have guts. Yeah. This is so simple. Like, some of you have a unique it factor. Yeah. You've got some discipline. You've got a good idea. You've got a strategy. But you don't have the guts. Yeah, you ain't got the guts. You don't have that go for it. You don't have that beast inside of you. You ain't got that dog inside of you that's saying, I'm about to go for it. And I thought about it when I saw that somebody commented Deion Sanders' name. Deion Sanders is the epitome of go for it. I got the guts. It don't matter if I'm here or if I'm here. I'm a winning team. I'm a winner. Anything that I touch is a win, right? Deion Sanders, that he used to be called Primetime back in his football days. I think they still call him. He's still Primetime. In his football days, I remember Deion Sanders came out with that do-rag on his head. Come on, man. He pretty. He greased up. He's caring about his appearance. He got them soft skills down, right? Oh, for sure. And he talks so much trash, just like Muhammad Ali. So much trash. He pretty going into the ring. These are people who had the guts to say what they said, and they meant it. They were the first I said what I said.
Oh my gosh.
They created the I said what I said.
Look at Oprah's story. She had guts. All the stuff she went through.
Yes.
Yo, the stuff that Oprah, she deserves to be a billionaire so bad right now. The stuff that she went to would have broken the average person. And to go up against all that? Oh my God.
These are the original I said what I said. And Tyler Perry is the king of, and I stand on it. Bro. So Tyler Perry is the king, and who gonna check me? I know these wigs look bad. I know these cornrows don't match. I know that lace ain't hitting the skin. I know this sound quality is a little bit off. I know the play started a little bit late, but who's gonna check me?
Yeah.
Because my checks are worth billions.
Come on, man.
My checks are worth billions. And there are some people who you cannot deny them the success that they have accumulated. I don't care what you think about them. You cannot deny what they have been able to accomplish because they said what they said. They meant it. They had all of the 11 components that we talked about.
12.
The 12 components that they talked about, they went for it. At the end of the day, none of this matters if you don't have the ability to get off that couch, to get off social media, to get from outside of your environment, to break up with your circumstances, to divorce your negative mindset and go for it. That's Absolutely. It.
Gotta have the guts, y'all. Hey, do me a favor. Comment below. Out of these 12, what are you lacking? Out of the 12, there's something that hit a nerve and you're like, man, if only I had the guts. I don't have a vision. I don't have the work ethic. Comment below. Whatever you decide to comment, okay, I need you to spend the rest of the year working on it. I need you to spend the rest of the year working on it, because it's not 100 things that you need to become successful. It's 1, 2, 3 things that you need to become or implement in your business to take your life to a whole nother level, okay?
Can I say this real quick
Please.
before we end it? So we literally just gave you 12 steps. You just made a very valid point. It's not 100 things that we gave you 12 things that if you possess all 12 of these things, I practically guarantee you success.
For sure.
I guarantee you will be a millionaire, right? 12 things. Ironically, there's 12 months in the year. Can you build these components of becoming a multimillionaire? How to build the components of becoming a multimillionaire in 12 months. That's the episode. How to build the components required to become a multimillionaire in 12 months. But here's what I mean by that. Layman's terms. You take one step, you practice those habits that's required to achieve that over 30 days. And then month 2, you add. You don't swap. You don't stop the previous step. You add on, right? Now, look, they're saying, well, I don't have a year. I don't know why. You spent 20 doing the same thing. You spent 20 years, 5 years, 3 years doing the same. Give us a year following these steps. Month 2, you add the second thing and you go through, and while you're still doing the first thing that you mastered, now you're mastering a second thing. Month 3, now we're doing things 1, 2, and 3. Month 4, and you're going to go on for the whole year. That second year, now you've got all these things. You've been practicing that first thing. You've been mastering all 12 months. That second thing you've been mastering for 11 months. That third thing you've been mastering for 10 months. When that second year happens, the breakthrough that you're going to experience is going to be so unbelievable to you.
Monumental.
It's going to be monumental. I can guarantee it.
Yep.
That's a guarantee. I'll stand on it. I said what I said.
I love it. Yo, take this information, okay? Run with it. We need you to comment below. You need to be engaged in this conversation, okay? And the good news is some of you have some of these.
Yeah.
Everybody watching, listening to this, you possess some of it. And that is all you need. And we're just starting to build on top of the foundation that you have, okay? So listen, we need you to like, subscribe. It is free to support by liking and subscribing to the podcast. Just like, subscribe, show some love, share this with somebody.
Not just that, leave us a comment.
Please.
However, we only want you to like and subscribe if it's a 4-star or 5-star like and subscribe. If it's not a 4 or 5, keep your little raggedy like. All right? We don't want it. However, we also need you to leave a comment. Tell us what you love about the episode. Tell us what you want to see us do next. Tell us how this episode or any of the Social Proof Podcast episodes has impacted your life. But you know what you can also do? Make sure you are staying connected and plugged into me and David, because we actually have a thing for developing entrepreneurs.
100%.
Like, we've become really good at this.
For sure.
We have over a decade of experience developing as an entrepreneur and developing other entrepreneurs. I have an actionable CEO community. You have a morning meetup community.
Thanks.
We are changing lives and creating impact inside that community, and you guys deserve to be coached and mentored by me and David. So you're going to see all the links in the bottom of the description here, wherever you're watching this. Click the link.
Yeah.
Join us.
Join us.
We out.
Be a part. Peace. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.